Right? Hello there everyone, my name is Accadamy-12 and welcome to the Inkblot Big Run. I didn't do this 2 years ago, but despite how I didn't feel like it and how much I procrastinated, I still decided to do everything at the last minute. Yeah, that bug was a little funny. It was kind of funny. Thank God they fixed it. Alright, yep, it's the same as always. Same as always. Alright, no, okay. Alright, let's head to Grisco Industries and play the video game. Okay, shut up, Mr. Grizz. Okay, before I... Okay, so I am actually wearing the blue slop suit, because I decided to change things up a little bit, because, you know, I can't just be wearing the gold slop suit forever. I can't do that. Alright. First run. Because, like, last time I played the Inkblot Big Run, I did horribly. Like, I don't even think I would have gotten gold with this new system. I don't remember. I'd have to check. You know what? I'm actually going to... No, okay, I've started a match. I'm going to check after the match. Because I can still check that in, like, the, in the app. So, yeah, is it gonna be the... Yes, it's, I don't know why I'm saying yes like I'm excited, but, like, as cool as the paintable walls are... Oh, they changed the design of the paintable walls. Interesting. Okay, so mid-tide on this map is pretty horrible because of the... Was this thing inkable before? I don't know. Was it inkable before? I don't know. Okay, there we go. Okay, these people went just down. Okay. Is the Grisco... I mean, I don't think it's going to be just the Grisco stringer, but, like... Seeing the Grisco stringer... Oh, it isn't just the Grisco stringer, because I see a Umbrella right there. Revive you. Yeah, I mean... The paintable walls were nice, but the lack of a ramp makes it harder to lure salmonids. Go away. I mean, this is probably because it's lower hazard level, but so far so good. We do not have a lot of eggs, though. Because, yeah, it really is hard to lure on this map. I mean, this ramp is pretty much all you have to lure on mid-tide. You don't have a second ramp on the other side. Revive you, please. Okay, I don't think I can kill it. Okay, there's a flopper over there. Like, I am, like, no matter how many times, I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm not playing enough, but, like, I still don't have the gold flopper badge despite how close I am. Okay, let's revive, revive? What the hell did I just say? I wanted to kill the steelhead, not revive it. That doesn't make sense. So, yes, this big run, we go to Colleg. We go to Colleg and do our Colleg thing. Okay. Yeah, moths are pretty easy to lure because on this map because, you know, they can climb up walls. Floppers are a bit easier as well because, you know, they can, what's the word, they can flop. Drizzlers, I mean, like, if we were far enough away, we'd be fine. Oh, fuck off. No, 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 no. Oh god, okay. This is what I mean when I say I don't like Inkblot as a big run stage. I never actually truly said that, but, like, I don't like it. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, no. Hey, 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 help us, help us. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Thank you. This is actually why the sloshing machine is, like, not good, because its projectile disappears and has 0 piercing potential. I already used a thing. I'm not gonna use it again. We need 3 more. Oh, hey. Okay, well, there's our 3 eggs right there. Okay, yeah, there's our 3 eggs. We're fine. We're all fine. It's no problem. We're okay. I don't know if that was... I mean, I don't know if they're making, like, little changes. I really don't know. I'd have to compare this to the original one, to the Big Big Run. I don't know. Well, at least I have a way to kill flyfish. Oh, no. Something I'm very bad at killing. Thankfully, okay. Okay, honestly, a big shot cannon on this map with mid-tide is honestly actually, like, really good because of how difficult it is to lure now. They're dead. Okay, okay, get... Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, I'm alive. I'm not really enthusiastic today. I'm trying to be, but not really. Maybe it's just because I've been out of this for a while. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, small fry. You know, I've been waiting for someone to come to see if before I start talking about things, but, like, commenting just on gameplay isn't gonna work for very long. Oh, no, oh, okay, silver lining, okay. Well, we got I was gonna say we got a ton of eggs near the big shot cannon. Okay, wow. We were actually just really stupid that round. Like, stupid. And now I can actually check in the app. Okay, bitrate issues on one end. Not on the... It's on the Twitch end. I'm gonna see if it shows up. I'm going to see. Okay. Okay. Trying to see... Okay, I'm trying to see if it looks normal. Oh yeah, I have the link in my... I'm gonna have it muted. And see if everything's going normal. Okay, it's normal. Okay, I think it'll be fine. I'll maybe lower the bitrate next time. Because I lowered the bitrate from this time to last time, and so far, very few technical issues. But now it's time to actually do what I wanted to do. Let's go to the app. Let's go to the app and look at the previous Inkblot Big Run. See how well I did. I am less than 100 like flopper kills until like last time, until I have the thing, the gold flopper badge. So on the first Inkblot big run, I did get over 135. I got 139, so I would have gotten gold. There, I understand now. Oh, it's grillers. You know, this... Okay. Can you get over here? Get over here! That's not where the... Do people not understand how luring works? I'm genuinely curious. Do you just not understand? Oh, wait. Luring is impossible on this map at this point. Because they removed that ramp. I'd rather have the ramp than not have inkable walls. You know, I'd rather have the ramp over some uninkable walls is what I'm trying to say. I'd rather have that because it makes... You may think it makes mid-tide better. It doesn't. It makes it worse. Because you can't lure. This might actually be, like, difficult for me to even get the normal gold on, because I just barely got it last time. And that was when the stage was better. Like, grillers, Jesus. Mid-tide is just... Perhaps I treated Undertow too harshly, because at least in that map, you can lure. You can't do that here. It's so ridiculous. It's always the Nintendo way. Take 2 steps forward, a bajillion steps backward. It's always the Nintendo way. Always. It always is. It's just a fact. Oh my god, are we gonna get anything other than mid-tide? Alright, so I guess now that it may take a while for someone to come. I think now is probably a good time to talk about things for the stream highlight video. Is that the reason why I was actually didn't feel like doing the chocolate Splatfest a second time was actually because I was at the time very addicted to a game. And like, you know how a while ago I was talking about getting back into Bloons Tower Defense 5? Well, I got back into that game a little bit to try to like get some more of the medals and try to get closer to 100%ing the game. And of course, because a game whose Flash version came out in 2011. Yo, hey Silver, you let the college fall? Yes. What are you? What are you, the new regime? Get it? Because this new regime is very anti-education. Get it? Get it? It's horrible. Get it? You see, get the joke? It's not funny. The world is actually going to shit. Like, our extinction is imminent, and, oh my god, like, this kind of too lazy to learn attitude is actually what breeds anti-intellectualism and causes people to fall for misinformation, and thus causing people to fall for demagogues like Trump. Like, I was originally, like, when I was originally talking about, like, the Bloons Tower Defense series, you know? That classic game series. The thing is that politics aren't real. Like, the concept of politics is more so made up by, by parties to make us think that they have things, but like, but the concepts that politics have, it's not like they aren't real. What I mean by this is just like, the way we argue politics is pointless and stupid, and we care more about tribalism than anything else. And I'm not just talking about the whole, let's work together for the left and the right, blah, 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 blah. That's stupid. I'm talking about within leftist circles. Because modern leftists are unable to make compromises and just accept that just because we are disagree on these things. Oh, hey, what's going on, Koi? I'm launching into a rant about how the stupid shit. Oh God, damn it, damn it. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop that conversation because I don't want to start having another spiral in the middle of a stream. And let me get back to what I was saying about Bloons Tower Defense, because Bloons Tower Defense, it's a fun series. Even though I'm pretty sure Tower Defense 4 was out, I started with 3 because, you know, back in the day I played my Flash games on like one of those compilation websites. It was called like Free Web Arcade, where Peter Griffin can all I care about is Hatsune Miku. All I care about is, okay, so here's the thing about the next video. I'm surprised that y'all two have stuck around in the absence of regular videos. As I mentioned in the community tab post and on Discord, one of the animators said she is almost done and it'll take like, she'll probably finish it by spring break. She probably got some done during spring pause, which was last week. Because, like, my local college has, like, both a spring break and a spring pause. Spring pause is, like, 2 days. Spring break is the usual spring break you think of. And in Augusta, Georgia, animation seems like a hassle. Yeah, it was a hassle. I thought, oh, this would be fun. Maybe take, like, a little bit. It's just the next video and, it's just the next stream highlight video. I had an idea, like, I had some money left over. I could maybe pay some animators to make, like, I don't know, like a 13-second animation. I thought I'd be able to do it. I mean, I found some people at my college. Like, I put up a poster. I straight up put up a poster and, like, was like, hey, I'll pay you. This is my phone number. Text me. Don't call me because I don't answer random numbers. This is my email. Okay, why are you doing? Oh my God. Oh, you've been replaying Persona 5. Okay, here's the thing. I did not care for Persona 5. Peter, how could you say that? And then the whole thing goes on, and this is the thing that I love about that video. He's like, play a real Shin Megami Tensei game. No, they don't talk about playing Persona 1 or 2. They talk about playing an actual Shin Megami Tensei game. Because, like, the Persona series was never good. Play a real Shin Megami Tensei game. Don't play its budget ripoff. Made by the same company. Yeah, this is worse than the time when I started a YouTube channel and it went fucking nowhere. I'm just doing Peter Griffin impressions. So, like, the two animations is one, since I didn't, okay, because for some reason you have to max out a confident to get the, okay. Look, I know that game does have some life simulation stuff, and I recently heard that they basically, like, they simulate going to school. Why would anyone want to play a game like that? I play games to get away from that shit. Why would I want to play a game where I'm back at my office job or working food service again? The only exception to this is the Papa Louie games. Because they actually somehow find a way to make working in the service industry fun. The Papa Louie games. So yeah, speaking of Flash games. Yeah, because I was originally talking about, like, the... Dude, I skipped this... Wait, that's optional? You can be a high school dropout in Persona? Holy shit. Oh my god, this is just... I mean, by the way, I've actually messed with the settings of my microphone since between this time and last time. I thought it sounded better, but like, I don't know. This microphone is better at like controlling volume and not like distorting when it gets loud. There's a fast forward button. Yeah, if only I had that, if only I had that in 9th grade. If only I had that in 9th grade, yeah, speaking of Flash games, is that, I've been recently I got back into Bloons Tower Defense 5, which, does have a Steam port. I originally, when I got back into it for a while and started my new save file that I currently have, I originally wanted to do it on the mobile version. It would be suspicious if you weren't at school, Joker. Look at me, I'm a dumb, stupid cat. Morgan, do you mean Morgana? Morgan, do you mean Morgana? Do you mean looking cool Joker Morgana? I just threw the Booyah Bomb into the water. Look, you got on my ass for saying big cut, so it's only fair that I get back. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like, if they're not going to add, like, the reason why winning a Splatfest team matters, because, like, if the rerun Splatfests are going to be the only way to have an infinite repeating source of snails, winning actually does matter, because otherwise it's gonna take like so much longer. The thing is that I actually barely played that Splatfest. It's not like I just didn't stream it. I barely played it because I was actually both A, too busy with school, and B, too busy with Bloons Tower Defense 6. Yeah, I actually decided, because originally when I wanted to get back into the Bloons series, I was like, I'll wait to play 6. I originally didn't want to play 6 because I just hated the fucking art style. It just looks so ugly to me. I still don't like it much. I still prefer... Yeah, I know. Yeah, like, okay. I still prefer the way, everything looks in 5. But, like, 6 has a lot of fun mechanics. And I was like, I was getting bored of 5. You know what? Screw it. I had to debate whether I wanted to get the PC version or the mobile version. I chose the PC version because, okay, we haven't been on the same Splatfest team in forever. Okay, ooh. Golden opportunity. It's called the golden opportunity. Okay, that's a Moz. Okay. Screw it, it's wave 3, it's wave 3. Hopefully I can deal with that stinger. What else would it be? The Golden Goddesses? But that's just, again, power, wisdom, and courage again. Oh, I know what they could have done. Pick which timeline is your favorite. Downfall, child, or adult? Downfall, child, or adult? Me personally, child timeline, because not only does it have peak fiction known as Majora's Mask, it has okay, Goron versus Zor. Okay, when I think of the 3 main species of Zelda, probably because I started with Majora, I think of the Deku, not the Koroks. Because the thing is that the Koroks are what happened to the Kokiri when they leave the forest. Because, like, I mean, I assume that the Koroks must have... I mean, obviously, I assume the Koroks must have left the forest at some point. But there's, like, 2 Rito. There's 2 things that we call Rito. There are the Rito from Wind Waker, and then the other Rito, just like there are 2 things that we call Zora. Because, like, normally this distinction wasn't obvious unless you played, like, the Oracle games, but now it's back in everyone's mind with Echoes of Wisdom. And honestly, yeah, Deku, yes. Honestly, yeah, I'm glad that the Deku came back in Echoes of Wisdom. That's really cool. And the spider webs hit the Deku, hit the Lost Woods like crack in the 80s. Yeah, you can decide. Okay, honestly, like, here's the thing. Ever since the build-up to either Zelda's 35th anniversary or the release of Tears of the Kingdom, I wanted to do, like, a bunch of Let's Plays on all of the Zelda games in canonical order. And this is where I was gonna do my first, what I would call a live stream Let's Play, where instead of pre-recording the Let's Play, I do it live. Because I was gonna do a live stream Let's Play for Breath of the Wild because of the type of game it is. The only initiative I've ever got on that was when I Let's Played Skyward Sword HD. And let's just say, a lot of my older Let's Play content, some of it's fine, but others, it doesn't really hold up too well. There's a lot of dead air, a lot of it just feels like, a commentary channel. There's no reason to want to, yeah, I'm about to rant how, bad Tears of the Kingdom is. Oh dear God, that game is terrible. I'm not even going to talk about the gameplay yet. I am going to talk about the gameplay, because, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, because if I was originally saving it for a blind playthrough on the channel, but, like, it was taking so long for all this stuff to get into place because of all the stupid decisions I made, that I just had to, at the very least, see it and know what kind of game it is. Because up until the release, I thought that they were going to actually, like, add in a lot of problems that the Breath of the Wild had. But no, they just made Breath of the Wild again. Even the games that are literally meant to just be, I mean, not really. Not before Demise, because, like, Hyrule wasn't founded, like, because the people on the surface prior to the Breach of Demise and Hylia raising up the Sky Islands, that doesn't necessarily mean they had a name. Like Hyrule isn't necessarily a name. I don't know where the name Hyrule came from. It's never explained in Skyward Sword, and obviously not in Minish Cap, since Minish Cap was, funny enough, fun coincidence about Minish Cap. Minish Cap and the other Capcom games is actually where Hidemaru Fujibayashi, I think that's how you say his name, the person who, in my opinion, I'm partially blaming for the bad lore of TOTK. And also, like, okay, so, like, the way it says it's, like, after Skyward Sword, but before Minish Cap. But the thing is that it tries to draw parallels to Ocarina and the start of the Downfall timeline. But that's not the case, because first off, all of it is just contradictory, but, like, and okay, Springfest theme. I don't know what Springfest is gonna be. I know what Springfest could be. I mean, Young Link doesn't die. I mean, Adult Link is the one who dies. Oh, I know. What type of candy do you like? Gummy, chocolate, or hard? What type of candy? Okay, yeah. The thing is that they didn't come up with the 3 timelines out of nowhere. I mean, it didn't come out, the explanation came in Hyrule Historia, but the order still existed. Unfortunately, the whole idea of, because instead of being a prequel to, Ocarina was always meant to be a prequel to A Link to the Past, but it was originally, instead of just meant to set up the conditions for the Sealing War, it was supposed to straight up retell it. But it can't be the Sealing War, because Ganon doesn't get the full Triforce unless you die. And it's not really a war. Oh my god. Honestly, I used to think I was okay with the idea of switching the Oracle games and Link's Awakening in Hyrule Encyclopedia, but then I saw the ending to the Oracle games, and guess what? It featured a boat. And guess what? That's the perfect setup for the Oracle games. I want to find this hilarious. Prior to, I don't know if this is true, but supposedly prior to Hyrule Historia, Link's Awakening was originally supposed to take place on a loading screen between two of the continents in Zelda 2. Okay, Link Between Worlds is in the timeline. It is after all of the games with the Hero of Legend, but before the first two games. And I presume after Triforce Heroes, but before Zelda 1 is where Echoes of Wisdom goes. I think they did update the official timeline because they have a website. I think they did update the official timeline and did, of course, confidently put Echoes of Wisdom in the Downfall timeline. But they made it after Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes, but before Zelda 1 and 2. Yo, you're playing Spoon? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, in my opinion, the multiplayer Zeldas really should not have been canon. Especially Four Swords Adventures. Like, especially Four Swords Adventures. Because no matter where you put it, it causes problems. Because that game never had any, because originally prior to Hyrule Historia, in an interview where they were talking about where does, the original Four Swords relate to the other games? They would say, like, it's the earliest game in the timeline, so before Ocarina, but then they said, Four Swords Adventure takes someplace after Four Swords. But that would be impossible. Not only one, because Ganon wasn't killed, he was sealed in that game. So there was no way, okay, yeah, I did cast a Cup of Candy. So there was no way for a new Ganondorf to come into place. But even if that was the case, why would the Hyrule royal family trust someone who looks exactly like another Gerudo who did evil things? Look, I'm not saying that that's what they should have done. No, he was killed. Actually, I think it's a fate worse than death. He was petrified. He was turned to stone. And I guess he was simultaneously killed and sealed, because he was killed, but his corpse was also sealed away in Old Hyrule. Yeah, way more of a badass way to die than the goofy TP Ganon. I mean, I know why he acts like this, instead of being calm and retrospective like Wind Waker Ganon. It's because that Ganon has no experience fighting Lynx, so he lets his arrogance get in his way. A bit more of a caricature of Ocarina Ganon. Oh my god, I'm talking about one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, and I just lose on wave 1. So, back to talking about how bad Tears of the Kingdom is. First off, the whole sacrifice that Zelda tries to do by turning herself into a dragon gets undone at the end of the game, so what's the point? There's a similar problem in Skyward Sword. You kill Demise in the present. Girahim takes Zelda to the past to try to resurrect Demise. Yet, that means, like, how are you supposed to do that? Is the game a closed loop? Like, ugh. Like, the game had some fine storytelling up until that point. It wasn't amazing, but it was fine. It wasn't peak fiction like Majora. Or like Link's Awakening. Yeah, honestly, I think it's really funny how, the Zelda series was literally on its deathbed after the bad sales it got because of the Wind Waker art style. So they had to regretfully make like the most gritty Zelda they could, to the point where they removed magic to make it more grounded and realistic. Although it's not a really realistic art style. Oh my god, yes, I love the Twilight's atmosphere. Because gameplay-wise, it doesn't really do much, other than just give you an excuse to play as Wolf. Because that game really needs you an excuse to play as Wolf, because mainly, the main uses for Wolf are smelling to find grottos, and running across Hyrule Fields so you don't need a horse. It's not like the, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. While it is cool to see Ganon, to compare and contrast in between two different outcomes, we could have done that in two separate games. We could have Zant in one game and Ganon in the next. I mean, probably, considering how small the population of the Twilight Realm is and how little land there is, I'm pretty sure there's a very small population and a lot of incest going on, similar to how Skyloft worked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Skyloft is pretty incestual. Because, like, how small the land area is, how small everything is. Which makes me wonder, how the hell did they have enough people to start a functioning population once they colonized the land? Yeah, I mean, yeah, cool. Interesting thing, before I actually talk about some really cool ideas I really wish the Zelda series would do, I want to talk about the bad game that is bad and is bad. First off, the Zonai in Breath of the Wild and the Zonai in Tears of the Kingdom aren't even remotely the same thing. The Zonai in Tears of the Kingdom are literally just Sheikah ripoffs. But the Zonai in Breath of the Wild are described as this primal warrior clan. And we see, and like, there's an entire like hour and a half documentary compiling all the evidence in Breath of the Wild about the Zonai, and all of that was just shat on in TOTK. Yeah, they're literally just carbon copies of the Sheikah, and that in my opinion is the only reason they got rid of the Sheikah stuff, most of the Sheikah stuff in TOTK. Because it was inconvenient. Because having two things that basically are the same thing is inconvenient. Like, they go so far as to strip the Shrine of Resurrection. Like, honestly, I'm not against the design of them, but like, they're just carbon copies of the Sheikah. I was also going to go on a rant about how Hidemaru Fujibayashi is kind of one to just contradict everything, because, you know, he was the one who worked on the Four Sword games, and Skyward Sword was his least contradictory game. But the thing is, it only considered Ocarina and the rest of the timeline. It didn't consider Minish Cap and Four Swords. So, like, it didn't explain... Yeah, I know. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom can't even be consistent with Breath of the Wild in and of itself. Yeah, it can't even be consistent with Breath of the Wild because, like, there's so many contradictions between the two games. And the fact that it's basically just, again, Breath of the Wild again. It's not like a sequel like Majora's Mask or Zelda 2 or that was. It's a carbon copy. And they just straight up lied about fixing the dungeons. Yes. Hopefully by then I'll actually have some of the animation done, so that I can actually start making stream highlight videos again. Why? If you read its manual, it has a pretty good story. When I say, of course you have to read the manual because this is a game from the 80s. There's literally not enough room on the cartridges for any fucking cutscenes. And also, speaking of Zelda 2, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, the whole thing about, like, I don't know if this is confirmed. It was fun. Just way too hard and unbalanced. Like, unfairly difficult. Although I am glad that they went back to the Zelda 1 formula in A Link to the Past. Oh, join your... Oh, okay. Hold on. This shit's going crazy. Yeah, I am glad that they went back to the Zelda 1 formula in A Link to the Past. Any moron who says that Breath of the Wild is an evolution of Zelda 1's formula has not played Zelda 1. Even the developers, because they say that too. They have not played Zelda 1. No, it is not a better story. It's a worse story. Because Breath of the Wild left things open to allow you to make fun connections. Like, for example, one of my favorite connections of Breath of the Wild to the rest of the games is connecting the Sheikah technology to the Tower of the Gods in Wind Waker. Because you see those same patterns and even the same blue lights in the boss room. Although Godin strangely feels design-wise more like a Zonai robot rather than a Guardian. Also, one thing I was hoping they would do in Tears of the Kingdom as a way to sort of bring back dungeon items is instead of giving you all that game's equivalent of runes at the start, give them to you in the dungeons and design the dungeons around that room. Yeah, I know, it's weird. Oh shoot, oh fart. I just joined a game without paying attention because I'm talking about the best franchise in all of gaming that is being ruined by its own creators. I know two reasons why Eiji Aonuma wants to gaslight himself into thinking that open world Zelda is better. Because one, it makes him a shit ton of money, and two, he's been making remakes of A Link to the Past type games for like 30 plus years. He's been making A Link to the Past games for like 30 plus years. And even though Echoes of Wisdom has some of the yeah, I know, it's stupid. When I first saw the TOTK trailer and saw that essence, I was thinking, like, it is still probably the Zonai, but, like, it looks different enough from the Sheikah technology that I feel like adding some magic into their warrior nature wouldn't be that bad of an idea. And also, originally around that time, I was like... Yeah, I know, because, like I mentioned, the whole reason why they got rid of the Sheikah tech is because it was inconvenient for them. Yeah, it's like there's like 3 different essences that represent the different colors of the golden goddesses. You got Malice, or as they just retconned it in Breath of the Wild, I mean, not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Gloom, which is red and represents Din or power. You've got whatever powers the Sheikah technology, which is representative of Nehru or wisdom. And you had whatever the hell the Zonai stuff was in that first trailer, which was representative of Faeror or courage. And also, I don't know why the fuck they just didn't call them, like, the Gloom Hands Floor Masters, because they're Floor Masters. If you played Wind Waker, you know those things are fucking Floor Masters. When I first saw them in, like, video thumbnails, I was like, oh, there are Floor Masters in this game. Yeah, they're Floor Masters, because, like, they look really similar to the Floor Masters in Wind Waker. But no, they weren't, like, cleverly used like Floor Masters were. I was also like, ooh, there's dragons everywhere, and, like, there's Gleeoks. There's gonna be a lot more enemies. But nope, pretty much the only new enemies that we didn't see in the trailer were the Gibdos? Yeah, imagine if T was here. Like, the thing about the Gibdos is that They aren't Gibdos, they're Redeads. If you look at their design, it's obvious that they're Redeads. I honestly feel like it would be better for me to explain how I would fix things like the Zelda formula, bring back the Zelda formula, because like Echoes of Wisdom, despite having a lot of the old Zelda hallmarks in dungeons, because of the whole Echo system and lack of dungeon items, and also a few other minor issues, but like, yeah, has a lot of the same problems that TOTK has, where you just circumvent the puzzle. You can literally skip the entirety of the Water Temple with the Crawlchula. Gibdos are the mummies in Zelda. They were first seen in, I think, A Link to the Past, but instead of, like, covering Redeads like they did in Ocarina and Majora, they covered Stalfos. And that was brought back in A Link Between Worlds because, you know, those games were, because Link Between Worlds was meant to be a sequel to A Link to the Past. To the point where it was literally called Triforce of the Gods 2 in Japan. I mean, not really. Redeads can be on the surface. Have you played Majora? And also, yeah, Redeads are usually in, like, spooky areas, you know? There were things that were kind of Gibdos, but so there's also kind of, like, the equal and opposite reverse problem in Twilight Princess. There are things that I think are called Redead Knights in the Arbiter's Grounds in Twilight Princess, but they're clearly Gibdos. Spooky places. Yes, like the bottom of the well and the Shadow Temple and the private cabana and the Earth Temple. I could rant about how awful Tears of the Kingdom is, but that deserves its own video. Yeah, Gibdos with Cloud Strife swords. It's funny. Oh, what the hell? Oh, girl lover. Girl kisser, what are you doing? What are you doing, girl kisser? I don't know how I'm gonna theme this, like, and edit this, like, stream highlights video, considering most of it we're doing is talking about motherfudging Zelda. Yeah, I mean, like, the Hero of the Wild is, like, the twinkiest of adult Links we've ever seen, yet is still strong enough to climb mountains. Oh, damn it. Okay, so the Zelda games that I have are the ones on Nintendo Switch Online. But physically, the ones that I have are Ocarina 3D, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, Wild and Tears, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, Trumpet. Funny thing is that I'm actually taller than the Hero of the Wild. I'm 2 inches taller than the Hero of the Wild. That's ridiculous. I am taller than the Hero of the Wild. All right, Trumpet. Okay, move Joe over here. No, I'm 4'3", 5. I'm no, not 4'3", 5'3", 5'4". Whoa. Like, there's no way you're that tall at how young you are. And you can eat rocks. Yeah, I mean, that scene of in Age of Calamity was kind of funny. Okay, coming over here. Oh, no. Yeah, the lore isn't interesting in Tears of the Kingdom, but, like, the gameplay is also bad. Because, like, again, you can circumvent everything with the building. And honestly, I kind of liked Magnesis in Breath of the Wild because it kind of felt like, because you could only pick up magnetic things instead of literally everything like you can with Ultra Hand, it kind of felt like how old hook shots in Zelda worked. where you could only hook onto any wooden thing, even if it wasn't necessarily meant to be hookshotable. This is why despite the claw shots allowing me to be Spider-Man with the double claw shots, I kind of prefer the more things you can hookshot with the old hook shots. But another interesting thing is that, yeah, like, wait, happy birthday? My birthday's not until September. Oh, you mean happy birthday, Silva? Oh, you're turning 15 on March 12th. Happy early birthday, Silver. My birthday, You think you're getting old? You think you're getting old? I'm basically over the hill and dead already. I'm almost 22. Oh shoot, no. I'm joining you, Koi. Remember? Okay. I'm basically over the hill and dead already. Yeah, I'm basically over the hill and dead already. Yeah. Like, I'm a Zelda boomer. Like, even though I started playing the series in 2016 with the worst version of Majora's Mask. Well, not the worst version, because it wasn't the 3D version, because, like, the 3DS version sucks. There are, like, a bajillion videos as to why that version sucked. Yeah, it's not it's not convoluted. It's just hard to remember all of the individual pieces. Mainly because this is a series that's been going on for nearly 40 years. Seriously, play the N64 version. The Zora swimming alone is much better. Just that alone. As well as all, like, even though I tried playing the 3DS version with the restoration mod that fixes a lot of the problems, there's still a lot of small issues that the restoration mod can't fix. Like the shape of South Clocktown, where the banker is, some of the owl statues, like, some of the owl statues, you know, things being made slightly easier in dungeons. Yeah, like, there's an entire video explaining how bad that version is. I'm glad that the only reason I got it on the Wii U VC instead of getting it on 3DS was because my 2DS had actually recently gotten stolen. Then when I was actually, my second Zelda game, Ocarina 3D, I got for my trip to Canada to visit my family. Yes, not really just the child timeline. I mean, because Adult Link is the one who does the water temple, but then again, there's also Jabu Jabu. But yeah, we have Great Bay and the godforsaken Lakebed Temple. The amount of backtracking in that dungeon is so ridiculous just to get some stupid heart pieces, and it's even worse in the HD version because of the stamps. Yeah, Great Bay, at least you have fun Zora swimming. And it's a lot like Ocarina's water temple. Once you know the path you're supposed to take, it's nowhere near as confusing because it boils down to a linear path at the end, but it just loops around in on itself a lot, which is why it's confusing the first time. Holy shit, that is a lot of fly fish. Oh my god, okay, wow, we need, okay, well, there's not our 10 eggs. Like, yeah, I'd rather make a full video explaining why I hate Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, Stone Tower, despite the Elegy of Emptiness stuff, was honestly my favorite dungeon. They also ruined the Twin Mold boss fight. I mean, they ruined all the boss fights, but they also ruined the Giant's Mask as well as Twin Mold itself. So, like, yeah, my god. Yeah, funny enough, because I was a bit dyslexic with new words, I originally thought that Zora's name was Miyaku, or Mayaku, or however I pronounced it, but no, it's Mikau. Because I couldn't read. The Zora's name is Mikau. This is the longest helicopter ever. Makui. Makui. Oh wait, is that actually how you spell it? Sigma? Did you just type Sigma? Damn it, Becky. Damn it, Becky. Damn it, Becky. Disconnected. I don't know if that was actually their username because I couldn't tell, but like it would be really funny if their name was Damn it, Becky. Honestly, like Echoes of Wisdom, despite not being a good game, it still has a lot of the problems that the open world Zeldas do. It's a step in the right direction, but it's still pretty mediocre. At least the story, while not being very good, like a lot of 2D Zeldas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's hard confirmed. Yes, can we get a real remake of Majora? Like a real remake of Majora? That actually embraces the darkness, because the overbrightening worked fine in most scenes in Ocarina, but it looks so out of place in Majora because of the game's darker tone and darker shading in its official art. The overbrightening doesn't look as good. I mean, the high poly geometry and good textures look nice, but like, I want to turn down the brightness. Oh my god, oh god, oh my god, my eye is not good right now. Oh wait, oh no, I was like, oh wait, it's almost been 2 hours. No, it's just almost been 1 hour. Yes, why did they not update Ocarina with camera control when the new 3DS came out, or just implement it from the very beginning with the Circle Pad Pro? Because in like the actual N64 versions, because the N64 didn't have a right stick, and normally your main method of controlling the camera, the C buttons, are used for items, there was no way to change the camera outside of a center button. Hell, I'm pretty sure even the original GameCube games didn't have up and down camera control, because since on the GameCube you couldn't click in the right stick. Yeah, I hate Becky. Damn you, Becky. Damn you, Becky. What special wave is it gonna be? Oh my god, my eye is like... Oh, it's Grillers. I hate the... No, up here, up here. Actually try to lure, please. I just love the name. Damn it, Becky. Oh wait, I forgot. I should get up here. I should get up here. I should get up here. Get up here. Like, honestly, but instead of continuing to talk about Tears of the Kingdom, I'm actually going to talk about some interesting ideas I had about Zelda games. Like, for example, I'm going to first talk about some interesting things about lore. Is that originally I thought, up until recently, you can actually see me support this theory in this timeline rearrangement in a video in my Where the Hell Have I Been video. It's hard to read because the text is so small and blurry, but you can see the game's logos and where they are, and can at the very least see that I'm thinking that there, instead of 3 things coming out of Ocarina when the game only allows for 2, there is another split at Minish Cap. But the problem with that is, in my idea, is that Ocarina was explicitly created to be a prequel to A Link to the Past. It doesn't line up perfectly, which is why the Downfall timeline makes more sense. And also there's this fun coincidence about the way one of the sages in Link to the Past tells you about the whole cyclical battle of good and evil, which coincidentally lines up with Demise's curse, and the way that it's told implies that they know how failure of heroes works. Well, not really, because remember, I don't think the mirror, first off, the interlopers attacked Hyrule and were sealed before the timeline split, in between Skyward Sword and Minish Cap. So, either you could have a Twilight Princess sequel there, not really a sequel, more like a prequel, during, like, the Interloper War, or, since I don't think the Mirror of Twilight is like a multiversal item, like, say, Null is in Echoes of Wisdom, or the Triforce, because, like, while the Triforce can exist in multiple things, like, while the Triforce can exist in multiple universes at once, there can't be multiple of it in there, because the whole reason why the child timeline split happens isn't necessarily because Link warned Zelda. It's actually because he has the Triforce of Courage with him when he goes back in time, which causes the Triforce to split up to correct for this, and that's how Ganon got the Triforce of Power in Twilight Princess. But also, like, another interesting thing about the Still World, and Null itself, and the Rifts. First off, the Rifts. The Rifts, interestingly enough, kind of remind me of those giant chasms separating the different areas of Lorule in A Link Between Worlds. An interesting thing about that game is that Rifts are repaired by Tris and the Triforce. Yes, he got, Oh, really? I could have... Oh my god, I was in the wrong position. I could have saved us there. My eye is, like, actually, like, hurting, like... I mean, I'm not too upset about these losses because I'm having fun talking about, like, one of my favorite game series of all time. Damn it, Becky! Yeah, that's gonna become a recurring joke now. We got a running joke. We got a running joke now. Damn it, Becky. Okay, now that I'm thinking of the name Becky, I'm thinking of... I mean, I've talked about this show before and mentioned it in passing. You mean Sakurai, what have you done? The demon... You let the Demon King get stronger. No, it was the fault of Zelda for both A, sending us back in time, causing Ganon to get a power-up, but also because the Triforce can't be incomplete... this is how the Shattered Triforce came into existence in Wind Waker. Bro lives in a house. Ugh. Also, a funny thing is that I know I don't show my face because I don't feel comfortable with how I look and showing my physical presence. But I recently got a haircut that I regret getting because, while you can kind of get an idea of what I look like, normally I have, like, nice long hair, but now with this haircut, I look like a shorter, slightly fatter version of Nathaniel Bandy. Like, if you look at Nathaniel Bandy, you'll have a pretty good idea of what I look like right now. Nathaniel Bandy, striving for originality. No, I just made a stupid decision. They did exactly what I wanted. I just made a stupid decision. Thankfully, my hair grows somewhat fast. So thankfully, hopefully within a month or two, this will be fixed. Yes, it is that bad. Nathaniel Bandy, striving for originality. Another interesting thing, back to talking about Echoes of Wisdom's connection to the rest of the series. Like, since the Triforce, like, is the source of the tries, and they are the ones who repair the rifts. Like, I mean, I can assume that the rifts are rare enough that we don't need to see them in games, or maybe there's some of the chasms. Some people are saying that, like, ooh, this is how everything gets rearranged. But, like, there's some pretty good map theories that, like, loosely connect all the maps. It's not perfect. Well, almost all the maps, because, like, it's almost all the maps. It's not all of them, because Four Swords Adventures exists. And that game, oh, Jesus Christ, that game's map makes no fucking sense. Which is interesting thing. This makes me think, like, since the Lorulians, yeah, they're not interesting. They could have been interesting, but they're not interesting. Just like how the Sky Islands could have been interesting. Like, there are very few Sky Islands you need to go to in Breath of the Wild. I mean, not Breath of the Wild. Not even Tears of the Kingdom, like in Skyward Sword. I mean, some people have theorized that because Null is sealed underneath the earth, that would mean that the destruction of Null left that room vacant for the depths to fill, and that since Null is a multiversal being, it happens in all timelines because Null is a multiversal being. Yes. I'm not showing my face, but like you... I look like him now because I got that shitty haircut. Yeah, but honestly, I don't buy that because that would require Hyrule to be geocentric. Because for that to work, also, I love the whole connection that Zeltic made in his video about how the empty void in the Triforce represents Null, thus, in a way, bringing back the Tetraforce theory. Oh my god, my eye. I looked, I had much longer hair. I had the same face and everything, and body, but I had much longer hair. Oh, this is down here. Okay. Where? On my head? What the No, like, when I say longer hair, standard long hair. Like, if you look at the hair of Link in TOTK, that kind of long hair. Similar to my me. Another interesting thing about Echoes of Wisdom's lore. No, Malomart did not have, the Kakariko Village Malomart did not have a piece of the Triforce. The Triforce was inherited from the Hero of Time to the Hero of Twilight at the start of the game. Zelda had inherited the Triforce of Wisdom from her ancestors. And Ganon got the Triforce of Power right as execution. There was... Okay, no, it wasn't in Ocarina. You couldn't buy the Triforce in that game. Unless you're somehow thinking of like a Wind Waker randomizer or something. There's no other point where I think you could buy the Triforce. Weird thing is... Okay, weird thing. Another thing... No, the Triforce on the shields. Oh, you're talking about the whole Tetraforce thing. Yeah, but the thing is that the whole Tetraforce theory now with Null revolves around it being empty and not an actual fourth piece of the Triforce. This makes me wonder, because Null's motives to consume are very similar to the motives of Majora. But the problem with that is Majora is a mask and an entity that... Majora lives inside a mask that is created by an ancient tribe, and some people think it's the interlopers, but I don't think so. Number one, that eye thing is simply coincidental. Yeah, hold on. After this, I'm gonna show you that thing. Yeah, I actually have a roughly similar hair color, except a bit darker. I mean, the thing is that Majora's only desire is to consume. And by that, I don't think it's related at all to the cycle of Demise's curse. I don't think it has anything to do with it. Also, but the thing is that if Majora is related to Null, that could technically explain why there are so many people who look like denizens of Hyrule and Termina. They're echoes. And... yeah, I mean, okay, if you actually watch the Carnival of Time cutscene story, like from Grandma, you can actually see that the moon used to have a face on it, but it was happy. So I'm pretty sure this is Termina's real moon, despite how tiny it is. Another interesting, but the thing is that wouldn't make sense. Why would the echoes be in Termina unless Termina is a still world? But that doesn't make sense why Termina would be a still world, because the still world can't affect the sky, only the ground, and it's usually cobbled together with obvious seams in between places. Yet, Termina is perfectly seamless, and seems to have its own lore and history. Yet why would a still world have its own lore and history? I think it's just a fun coincidence, but in the end, I don't think Majora is related to Null at all. Oh, I see you. Another interesting thing in Echoes of Wisdom is the link in it, the same link from A Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes. Because of Triforce Heroes, we know this link can transcend art styles. But is it the same link? Although, probably not, considering some of the backstory that's talked about of Link in the game, which doesn't really line up with the backstory of, or either doesn't line up with, or doesn't leave room for the backstory of the new hero of Hyrule, or... yeah, it's not the Majora's Mask. It's not like it's not the Hylian shield, but like it is a shield. It is something that's very similar to the Hylian shield that's small enough that young Link can use it. Wait, where is T? Okay, another interesting thing, is if the Triforce could kill Null... Okay, here's the thing. I know why the Triforce couldn't kill Null, why the Golden Goddesses couldn't use the Triforce to kill Null. But, like, could they themselves kill Null? Because, like, the Triforce is supposed to be the power of the goddesses. Yeah, Tingle's ripened balloon trip of love, peak fiction, totally necessary. They aren't, but it's funny. It's funny to think they are, just like the CDI games.
My boy, this peace is what all true warriors strive for.
Honestly, I think it would be really funny if they had a reference to the "You killed me" good cutscene in Echoes of Wisdom. That would be really funny. No, the line is, "Gee, it sure is boring around here."
My boy, this peace is what all true warriors strive for.
Honestly, the CDI games, considering how low TOTK set the bar, they're better than TOTK. Or maybe it's just the fact that they're funny is why I'm, like, giving them a pass. Yeah, but the thing is that aren't Tattle and Tail from Termina? Because they found Skull Kid while in Termina. And Skull Kid supposedly moved to Termina after the events of Ocarina, because it's implied that this is the same Skull Kid that you teach Serious Song to. Whether you actually taught whether Serious Song to the Skull Kid or not, the Skull Kid was taught Serious Song by Saria herself. So, like, that little detail doesn't really matter. So, like, honestly, some people might come in here and think I'm just grasping at straws or making unnecessary connections, but, like, I'm pretty well versed in the Zelda lore, because if there's one thing that Zack Attack 12 knows, it's motherfudging Zelda lore. Hold on, I want to make a visual joke. Hold on, I want to make a joke. You see this guy? He actually sells crack to children. Honestly, I presume the fierce deity is the yin is similar to Majora, but I still think that both of them are evil. I mean, in Majora's Mask, yes, you can upgrade it into the Razor Sword, which you can upgrade into the Gilded Sword. But at the start of the game, it's the same Kokiri Sword that you have in Ocarina. It does the same amount of damage, it does the same amount of hitbox, everything. Another interesting thing is, like, prior, like I mentioned earlier, it's, hold on, I don't think it's a different design. Although, hold on, now that I'm vaguely remembering, I remember the Kokiri Sword in Ocarina having a brown hilt, but the one in Majora having a blue hilt. Am I going crazy? I would have to check again for myself, but, like, I don't feel like doing that in the middle of this stream. Honestly, I really do think they should bring Morshu into like into a real Zelda game, because I think it would be funny. Oh yeah, we talked about that. I mentioned like, okay, so another interesting thing. Four Swords Adventures normally officially placed after Twilight Princess. It technically does work, but only barely. I honestly think that, originally I was thinking that it would be better, for there to be a second split in, Minish Cap, because that game also has two endings like Ocarina does. I mean, Link's main model was redone for Majora, or updated, so that's probably why it looks different. I would love to just, like, I honestly think it would be really funny, like, to play a normal Zelda game and see Morshu, and he says his classic line.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs, you want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
Even if there aren't all lamp oil, ropes, and bombs that you can buy in that game. And he still says rubies. But where would he lose it? He wasn't really doing anything other than hanging out with Zelda in between Ocarina and Majora. Because we know he hung out with Zelda a little bit enough to trust her, which is why Zelda gave him the Ocarina. Which, that's its own problem, because there are two options for how to interpret Ocarina of Time's child ending. One, this is the first meeting that Link has with Zelda after beating the Deku Tree. But that doesn't work with the iconography of showing him in the Chamber of the Master Sword with the Door of Time open. But it would explain how Zelda still has the Ocarina to give to Link. It clearly wasn't upgraded because it does the exact same thing in both games. It still does the exact same amount of damage. Another interesting thing, another option of how to interpret Ocarina's child ending is that, which I think is the way it's supposed to be interpreted, is that Link is sent back in time to the moment before he drew the Master Sword, with none of his items except for the Triforce of Courage, which is how the Master Sword is able to stay in the adult timeline. Although, if that's the case, I mean, granted, it wouldn't really matter if the Hylian shield that Link was using stayed with Zelda in the adult timeline, because the Hylian shields are not unique. Hylian shields aren't unique. There's not like one Hylian shield. That's not how it works. Yeah, I mean, because like I said, they did redo Link's model. So presumably they also redid all parts of his model, including the Kokiri sword. Another interesting thing, but the problem with that interpretation that I just talked about for the child ending is, how does Zelda still have the Ocarina? Why does Zelda need to give Link the Ocarina? Because Zelda gives Link the Ocarina after fleeing from Castletown. But also that, Zelda just fled from Castletown. How is Link meeting with her in the courtyard? She just fled from Castletown. Both interpretations of the ending are contradictory, yet you need elements of both. I never noticed just how annoying that ending is until now. I know how they want us to interpret it. But both that interpretation and the alternative interpretation don't work. All right, we got very little space and a lot of easy ways to lure Joe into Boris's bomb. Another interesting thing, okay, I'm going mother fudging Zelda lore, also known as autistic stimming. Oh, my nose. So Boris is over here. Okay, Boris is over here. There we go. Oh, great. You didn't move far enough. Alright, I think I may want to make, like, a video about, like, maybe neat things in Zelda lore that I noticed myself. But another interesting thing is, like, I was originally going to talk about the placement of Four Swords Adventures. And how, I think, like, prior to me understanding how Link to the Past still has to be a follow-up to Ocarina, no matter how you slice it, despite the fact that the game only allows for 2 endings, despite having 3 sequels. It's weird, but, like, a better option, I think, for Four Swords Adventure would be, after the Oracle games, but before A Link Between Worlds. That's called the Hero Shield, and that's, I didn't notice this. This was also, like, hinted at in Hyrule Encyclopedia. So this isn't even the person who made that video's idea. In Wind Waker, Grandma tells you that the shield is a family heirloom. And this isn't the only time the Hero Shield shows up. It shows up in Minish Cap. And the way you get that shield is by being gifted to you by Zelda at the Picori Festival. So there's the possibility that, similar to how the Hero of Twilight is descended from the Hero of Time, the Hero of Winds is descended from the Hero of Minish. And also potentially the Hero of Light from Four Swords Adventures, because you start with the Hero Shield in that game. Oh, that's good. My eyes do not feel good. I'm going to go for the full, like, 33 more minutes. I can survive. It's not that my eyes are hurting. It's that I don't know what they are. It's like some kind of allergy thing. Because, like, it is hinted that it is the same shield in Hyrule Encyclopedia. There are multiple different mirror shields. One is a Garuda artifact. One is an artifact from the Kingdom of Ikana. One is presumably related to the Kingdom of Hyrule itself. And and I have no idea if the ones in Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, not Link Between Worlds, Link's Awakening are the same. It's not the Shadow Temple, it's the Earth Temple. It is, although despite, yeah, because the Earth Temple is a bit of a misnomer, because it's not an Earth dungeon, it's a Shadow dungeon. Similar to how the Earth Temple in Skyward Sword is a misnomer. It's not an Earth dungeon, it's a Fire dungeon. I also find it weird how Skyward Sword has 2 Fire dungeons. And 2 Tech dungeons. And 2 dungeons based around, and 2 Time dungeons. Like, the Shadow dungeon in Skyward Sword is mixed in with the Water dungeon in the Ancient Cistern. Another interesting thing, okay, so I've had enough mentioning interesting things about Zelda. Like how I think that maybe now that I understand how Link to the Past is still clearly a follow-up to Ocarina of Time, no matter how you slice it, even though the Wind Waker devs decided to be stupid and make a 3rd sequel to that game, even though the game made that impossible. Yeah, this is why I think it might be related to the Kingdom of Hyrule, or the Royal Family, or the Hylian Royal Knights. It's so painfully average. The open world is boring. The boost is boring. The combat, ugh. But the overall soundtrack is kind of mid, but it does have some great highlights. the cyberspace themes, you know, some of the battle themes, action chain challenge, the Titan themes, things like that. The main theme, of course, but like, yeah, so again, it must be related to the Hylian royal family. I assume the bird couldn't be red simply because of the way the mirror shield needed to have a mirror finish in order to function. Yeah, I still have it sitting on my shelf. I still have the game sitting on my shelf. Ah, oh, damn it. Hey, revive me, revive me, revive me, revive me, thank you. Okay, I'm cracking. I'm cracking. Okay, oh no, oh great. Maybe we can make this, I don't know. Okay, I'm getting up here. So, interesting thing is that now I want to talk about some hypothetical Zelda games that I really wanted. Yeah, because the Loft Wings are so important to the ancient history of humans in the Zelda universe that even though they've forgotten the Loft Wings, the symbol still remains important. Ugh. There are, like, now I actually want to, the Ordon shield of the Goat Shield. Anytime I replay Twilight Princess, I'm like, please, I want to play the actual game, not herd more goats. I don't want to herd the goats. Yeah, but like, it can burn, but honestly, unlike Ocarina, burning the shield isn't really a problem in Twilight Princess. Oh wait, I forgot you were leaving, Koi. Yeah, burning the shield doesn't really happen. There aren't a lot of ways that you could burn the shield. Which Zelda minigame music? There's a lot of Zelda minigame musics. Like, when I think of Zelda minigame music, I think of the iconic one from Majora's Mask and technically Ocarina, but in Ocarina it only really shows up in one place. The Zora diving minigame. Yeah, and there's no reason to switch back to the regular shield, because there's nothing that the Ordon shield can't do that the Hylian shield can. Other than not burn. Oh, the goat minigame music. Like, I love how at the end of all of this journey, I love how in Twilight Princess you get to do so many things from herding goats to herding more goats. I honestly still can't get over the fact that you goat herd in a Zelda game. Some hypothetical Zelda games now. I'm actually done beating around the bush. I want to talk about some hypothetical Zelda games that could fit into the established timeline. But before that, I want to say that nowadays, I feel like they should, instead of just putting Four Swords Adventures after Twilight Princess to fill the child timeline out, I think what they should have done instead is put it in the Downfall timeline after the Hero of Legend games, but before the new Hero of Hyrule games. Actually, no, I think it would actually have been better. I think it actually would have been better after Echoes of Wisdom. Because that would explain, that game could potentially explain how Ganon came back for the first two games. But in Hyrule Historia, it just says, Ganon was resurrected. We don't know how, we don't know who did it. All we know is that he's still facing the effects of the botched resurrection in the Oracle games, where he can't speak, which is consistent with his appearance in Link Between Worlds, but isn't a problem in Echoes of Wisdom because that's not the real Ganon, that's Null. And null can talk on its own, so I'm pretty sure it could give something that can't talk a way to speak. It's more so Ganon is too stupid to be able to speak properly, as shown in the Oracle games, rather than he is completely mute. Yeah, I don't know if that's the sole reason that game got a T rating, but in my opinion, I don't really see breasts as a sexual thing, in my opinion. I don't think it should be weird to not want to cover them. Because, like, I don't see it as a problem. Of course, I'm just a dipshit on the internet, so I don't think that's gonna change society. It's the goats. The goats are still haunting me. Wow, Telma, this age rating is looking a little too immature for what we want. You think maybe you could open up a bottle for me to drink? I'm feeling thirsty. I stole that joke format from someone. But honestly, the back of the box says that part of the reason why it's T-rated is because of blood. Where in the game is the blood? I've played that game multiple times. Granted, it could be because I played the HD version and it got censored, but the back of the box of the HD version still says blood. Because funny enough, Twilight Princess HD might actually be the rarest or most expensive game I own. Because I regularly see it go for like $113 on eBay. Not as expensive as the original, which could go up to $180 regularly. There are a few that you can get for like $100, which I make it sound like it's a low amount of money, but for Twilight Princess GameCube, it is. Compared to the Wii version, where you can get for like $12. I also have the Wolf Link amiibo. I actually had to get it from Japan because it was sold out in the US. Because I think I got it from Japan because I remember the box for it being in Japanese. I was never able to fully complete the Cave of Shadows that thing unlocks. You know, I mean, because I wanted to I keep derailing this conversation to instead talk about bullshit instead of what I actually want to talk about, which is hypothetical Zelda games. And I'm going to start in canonical order. So you know how in the intro of the Minish Cap, there's this description of something called the War of the Bound Chest, in the early years of Hyrule where monsters threatened everyone. And the hero, a different Link from the one we play as, and the different one from the Hero of the Skies, the Hero of Men got the Picori Blade, which, why couldn't they use the Master Sword? Which, I have an idea of why they couldn't use the Master Sword, because the way it's listed, the exact order of events, like, they're all placed right next to each other, so I feel like them being interchangeable is fine. Puts the Interloper War before the sealing of the Triforce, before the founding of Hyrule, which doesn't make any sense. You'd think the founding of Hyrule would come first. And the sealing of the Sacred Realm would okay, maybe the Interloper War could have taken place before the sealing of the Sacred Realm, and the reason why they sealed it in the Sacred Realm was because of the Interloper War, but that doesn't work for the game I want to make. I want to combine the Interloper War with the War of the Bound Chest in this game. I already have an idea of the name I want to call this Zelda game. The Legend of Zelda of Monsters and Men. And honestly, since this involves the Interlopers, this could technically be a Twilight Princess prequel. We could technically have the Twilight come back. As if, because I feel like it would make more sense for the Twilight Realm to be a result of the creation of the Fused Shadow, rather than just something that exists. Oh, great. It's weird how whenever you get the Master Sword, you get the sheath in Breath of the... Yeah, which is kind of funny, because the hero Shade, which is confirmed to be the Hero of Time, has the Master Sword scabbard. But it's not exactly the same because it's missing the Triforce imprint on it. The reason we get the scabbard is because of video game logic. That's it. That's the only reason. It's because of video game logic. So I'm only gonna be going for 20 more minutes. And then I'm gonna do my normal thing. Another interesting thing, okay, about this game is that, like, I feel like the reason why we can actually, like, explain how the map of the Minish Cap takes place in, around the areas of the Downfall timeline, despite being so early on in the timeline, by, like, kind of expanding the map, making it an early colony or something like that. And also, I feel like maybe an idea I have for this game is that after the seal on the chest, the interlopers are still out there. The interlopers are still doing they're not done. But you can't use the Bakori blade to fight them off, because the Bakori blade has to seal the monsters in the chest. So you take out the Master Sword, which emboldens, of course, it tries to embolden the interlopers, where they try to get the full Triforce. And an idea I have is, like, there could be, like, 4 boss interlopers. Like, the interlopers could consist of, like, 4 people. And each would carry a piece of the fused shadow. I even think that, like, 2 of them could look, like, similar to Midna and Zant. Of course, they wouldn't have the same, like, blue skin that the Tweely have, because, like, the Tweely are descended, evolved forms of humans, of the humans that the interlopers were. But I do think there should still be some visual resemblance to the Tweely. And honestly, considering that names aren't sacred in the Zelda series, there's, like, multiple characters named Malon, despite Malon not being a part of the reincarnation cycle. There's multiple characters named Dampe. What? Major? What do you mean major? I honestly don't even think the Hero of Men is shown to have a shield in the Wind Waker, not the Wind Waker, the Minish Cap's intro. Oh, Majora. Because, like, there are 2 hero shields. There's the one from Wind Waker, Minish Cap, and Four Swords Adventures, and there's the one from Majora. They have completely different designs. Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I think, the Hero Shield is an early design for a common shield used by the Hylian Royal Knights. And the Hero Shield that is given to Link for Majora is something specially made by Zelda for Link. That is different from the current Hylian Shield that the Hylian Royal Knights use. Honestly, I think it would be really cool, like, how the final 4 dungeons of the game are about defeating the 4 interlopers with different pieces of the fused shadow and awakening the 4 light spirits. Before the final boss takes place with probably, let's say, the interloper that resembles Zant, or could just be called Zant, because, again, names aren't sacred in the series. Using the full power of the fused shadow for the final boss. So, like, imagine that Squidna cutscene in, one of the few cutscenes that's not skippable in Twilight Princess, where Midna uses the full power of the fused shadow to become a squid and destroy the barrier around Hyrule Castle. Are you talking about the Hero Shade? Because, yeah, the Hero Shade is dead. He's the dead version of the Hero of Time. Oh, honestly, I think that would be really cool. But the problem is that I don't think the reason why he could still use the Hero Shield is because of the fact that that shield was made with a child in mind, so it would be too small for an adult to use. Oh, is that like the name? Is Ancient Shield the name for the Hero Shade in other languages or something? Yeah, back to talking about this hypothetical Zelda game. Ancient Hero, no she. Okay, the Ancient Hero, yeah, that's just kind of vague. What's weird is like. The tunic that Twilight Princess Link wears, the hero of Twilight wears, is said to be from one of the heroes of the past. And there's no hint that there was any other hero in between the Hero of Time and the Hero of Twilight. Yet the clothes of the Hero of Twilight don't match the Hero of Time. Like, for example, they have chainmail underneath. Although, granted, the clothes that the adult Hero of Time normally wore were given to him by Rauru in the Sacred Realm. Is Mallow not a baby? Mallow is a demon baby. Oh, my nose. Interesting thing about this game. I honestly think that it would be really cool to just, because of this, I honestly think it would be really cool during the portions of with the monsters. I think it would be really cool. I honestly think it would be really cool if these monsters were kind of treated like zombies in a zombie apocalypse. Kind of being a background threat and used as an allegory for something more important. Like the early struggles in the politics of the Kingdom of Hyrule or something. Yeah, it's weird. I just chalk that up to the more realistic art style. Because with a less realistic art style, it's harder to put like high-res textures that would be high-res enough to be able to see a Stitch. Or they just didn't want to because they thought solid color looked better. Another interesting Zelda game I want to see is a Zelda game set after Zelda 1 and 2 in the Downfall timeline. I want to see another game set in the Downfall timeline. With a new Link or the same hero of Hyrule from Zelda 1 and 2, doesn't matter. Yeah, but the thing is that the devs the game designers previously showed that in the lore, the color blue is all you need to breathe underwater. So the Zora armor is just the texture designer showing off. You mean like the little thing that Link pulls over his face when he goes underwater with the Zora armor? Hold on. I forgot to unmute my mic. Yeah, I was talking about the whole like thing with the with this other hypothetical Zelda game set in after Echoes of Wisdom but before Zelda 1. Another one is that since I wanted to move the Four Swords Adventures into the Downfall timeline in between Echoes of Wisdom and before Zelda 1, which is what I just said. The game itself I want to actually take place, the hypothetical game, I want to take place after Zelda 2 at the end of the Downfall timeline. And prior to the release of Tears of the Kingdom, it was looking like it was going to be like it was taking place in the Child timeline because of how Ganon was sealed and like... I was thinking, like, I had an idea for another hypothetical Zelda game. A retelling of the first Calamity. This could be like a more cyberpunk, sci-fi Zelda with the Sheikah technology. Of course, you still have to get the Master Sword at some point, because in the tapestry, it is shown that that Link, who I'm going to call the hero of the Sheikah, had the, or it could either be the hero of the Sheikah or hero of the Calamity, it doesn't really matter, did have the Master Sword. Oh, you mean the pose? The normal pose are nowhere near as creepy as the ones in the Arbiter's ground. Another interesting game I would like to have in another hypothetical Zelda game is a game which could also be a more cyberpunk Zelda, but I was thinking that with this other cyberpunk Zelda that I had, it could be an urban fantasy game. It could be a more urban fantasy game set in New Hyrule in the adult timeline. Because Spirit Tracks, I haven't fully played Spirit Tracks yet. I want to play Spirit Tracks, but I haven't played it yet. Of course, they have now, in Spirit Tracks, New Hyrule has entered the Industrial Revolution and is now reaping its consequences. So I think a better name for Spirit Tracks would be The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. Alright, okay. Yeah, so that pretty much just explains my other Zelda, like an urban fantasy Zelda. I don't know what I would call it, but I think it would be cool. I have a lot of ideas. I'd rather make like a video about it. I think because my eyes are getting kind of fucked up, I'm going to end after this, like, shift and set up the stream for tomorrow. So anyways, bye, Silver. Bye-bye. I'll say my outro myself. Thank you. I'm actually, like, okay, yeah, that was like, most of the stream had a Zelda tangent, and I don't know where that came from. I'd have to re-watch the video to remember where the Zelda tangent came from. I'm honestly thinking, like, how I could, like, make the thumbnail and title relate to the video, because, like, what I was actually talking about in the video and what I was actually doing were not related at all. So, yeah, I do think I want to make videos about those hypothetical games, as well as other hypothetical games I want to make. And also a video about how I would have made Tears of the Kingdom a good video game. I can barely even focus anymore because my eyes are like so scratched and so itchy that I can't keep them open. I have to end after this match. It's only like a few minutes before when I intend to end anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, I'm glad Echoes of Wisdom kind of brought me back to thinking about Zelda lore after the disappointment that was TOTK. Because I love thinking about Zelda lore just as much as I like playing the games. It's time. for a trumpet. It's almost funny, like, this could, like, all three of the King Salmonids could be turned into Zelda bosses pretty easily. Alright, where is everyone going? That's not where everyone's going. That was a mistake. I didn't know it would target me. Ugh. The leg of Zeldeg. What the... I don't know why that just popped into my head now. Because, like, I'm at the end of the stream where I just want to do as much damage as I can on the trumpet. And... yeah, it wasn't very good, but, like, at least we had some fun Zelda conversations that I'm going to edit as much as I can in the stream highlights video. I don't even have time for a full match anyway, and my eyes are just not gonna allow me. You know, one day I hope to actually get Hyrule Historia and Encyclopedia, compare them to each other, and compare them to the games. You know, I think that'd be cool. But anyways, my name is Zackattack12, and goodbye, everyone.